A dash cam is a very powerful tool that can save you a lot of trouble and stress when confronted with a car crash, insurance fraud, police tickets, or even a possible lawsuit. So it's no wonder why a lot of drivers, including myself, drive one in their vehicle. Hey everyone, I'm Super SG, and no, I don't have an evil twin. This is really me. I just shaved off all my facial hair. In any case, this is my review of the VAVA 2K dual dash cam. I personally drive with a dash cam in my car, and I have been doing that for quite a few years now. So when VAVA reached out to me and asked if I wanted to use a true authentic dash cam and test it out for a review, I said, by all means, go ahead and send it to me and let me get my hands on that to see how great that is. So is this $200 dash cam worth your money? Let's go ahead and dive in and take a look. As soon as you put your eyes and hands on the box of the VAVA 2K dual dash cam, you will notice the premium quality almost immediately. And once you peel back all that shrink wrap, that premium feeling carries over to everything on the inside as well. Upon opening the box, you're going to find an envelope perched right on top of all the items. Inside of that envelope, you're going to find a pamphlet that tells you how to extend your warranty from 12 months to 24 months. And then you're also going to get a user manual, which I highly recommend you read everything because there's so much functionality in this dash cam. You're not going to learn it all just by doing stuff. Underneath the envelope, you're going to find the dash cam wrapped up and put into protective foam. And then finally, underneath the camera, you're going to find all the additional accessories that are included. Let's go ahead and talk about the abundance of accessories that they include for you. The first item is going to be the suction cup mount. This can attach to either your windshield or your dashboard. This has a very strong magnet up at the top that mounts to the camera. It also has a cable clip up at the top that's built in and helps you feed the USB cable that's included. The second item that they include is the Bluetooth snapshot button. This connects to your dash cam via Bluetooth and is used for a couple of different things. You can press the button once to take a quick snapshot of whatever is on screen, and then if you press and hold the button for 3 seconds, you're able to take a 15-second long clip. Pictures and videos that you take with the snapshot button are locked on the memory card, which means that you have to actually go into the camera settings to delete those clips. So when you're doing loop recording and continuously recording over your pre-recorded footage, these locked files won't accidentally be recorded over, which is a nice feature. Next up, you have a package of adhesive cable clips that you can use to mount to your dashboard or any part of your car to feed the extended USB cable that they include. You also get a double-sided adhesive patch that you can attach to the back of the snapshot button, and then you can put that anywhere on your dashboard, steering wheel, anywhere that's a convenient location for that button for you to press. The fourth goodie that you get is going to be the 2-port USB charger that goes directly into a 12-volt socket. The camera only requires one USB cable to power, so it's kind of nice that they give you an extra USB port if you wanted to put your smartphone in there as well. We only have a couple items left, so up next is going to be the super long micro USB cable that they include. This cable is very long. I couldn't find the exact specs anywhere, and I didn't have anything long enough to measure it, but all you need to know is that this cable is plenty long to get it from your 12-volt socket up to wherever you have your camera mounted. There's also a rectangular shaped GPS sensor on the cable as well. That GPS sensor is going to be used to track your movement speed, and you can also add a watermark to your videos to show how fast you're traveling. And then through the VAVA Dash Companion app found on Google Play and on the App Store, you can track your routes and see where you've traveled and how long it took you to get from point A to point B. This cable provides power to when the camera is in use, but there's also a 320 milliamp battery built into the camera directly. You can use this for some of the emergency functions that are built in, but we'll cover that in a little bit. The last thing that they include is a little plastic crowbar. You can use this crowbar to pry parts of your car's interior away, so that way you can feed the cable and have it nice and clean looking. Now let's go ahead and bring that camera back and take a closer look at the camera. As the name implies, the 2K dual dash cam has two cameras. You have one static front-facing camera and then a rear cabin-facing camera that can tilt up and down. Up on the top of the camera, you have your micro SD memory card slot, the micro USB power port, and a recessed magnetic area where the suction mount connects to. Like I said before, this magnet is very strong, so be careful. At the bottom of the camera, you're going to find 5 buttons. The 4 buttons on the left are going to be used for menu navigation, along for quick actions while the camera is recording. And then the single 5th button on the right side is going to be to toggle on and off the rear cabin-facing camera. So that is the unboxing experience for the VAVA 2K dual dash cam. Man, that is a mouthful. You get the camera, suction mount, USB cable with GPS sensor, 12-volt socket with dual USB chargers, Bluetooth snapshot button, cable clips, the manual, the extended warranty offer, and the plastic crowbar, which I forgot to put in the shot. That is a lot of good stuff included for $200. Before going into the details and the functionality of the camera, I thought it would be best to show footage directly from the camera so you can get a good idea of how the footage looks. So let's go ahead and roll that right now. I recorded all of that footage at the 2560 by 1600 2K resolution at 30 FPS. That is the highest resolution and FPS mode that this camera offers. Now, of course, if you did want to change the resolution, you could still do 1080 at 30 or 1080 at 60. But hey, you're paying $200 for a 2K dash cam. You might as well use the 2K resolution. One thing to note is that all the rear cabin facing footage is not in 2K. The 2K only applies to the front facing camera. Another thing to note is that the rear cabin facing camera is locked to a 1080p 30 FPS. You can't change it, you can't adjust it, it is locked and that's how it is. The snapshot pictures that you take are also captured in the native resolution that you select, so let's go ahead and throw some of those up so you can take a look, and I'll leave them up there for a bit so you can analyze. Overall, the camera quality is pretty good. It's not the best quality. Of course, I have a GoPro Hero 8 Black that I'm using as a dash cam, so of course that's gonna look much better than this. Of course, it's also twice the price. But for $200, the quality is more than acceptable. At a distance, it's a little difficult for the camera to make out signs and license plates, but once you get a little bit closer and you use that 2K resolution, it definitely helps the quality a lot. Now that you've seen the camera quality firsthand, let's go ahead and dive directly into the menus and the functionality of the camera. Now that we're over to the dash cam itself, we can go ahead and take a look at the functionality and some of the features of the dash cam. So first, this rotating camera bit, this is the cabin facing camera, so you can tilt it up and down. And then there's also a button down at the bottom to turn off the recording of the inner cabin camera. So you can see in the corner over here, it went away, so we'll go ahead and toggle that back on for you. You see me, hello, there I am. And then we'll go ahead and turn it off. And then there we go, it is gone. So no longer will record the interior camera. On the top of it, as I showed in the unboxing, you have your micro USB port, your SD card port, and then you also have your little magnetic area that is recessed to put into the suction cup mount. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the actual menus and functionality of the camera. So we are currently recording. As soon as you put power to the camera via USB, it will automatically begin recording. So when you turn your car on or you unlock the doors, the camera will start recording automatically, which is a nice function. Let's go ahead and get this camera to focus. Thank you. So we can go ahead and turn off the camera recording, and then we can go ahead and menu dive. You have two more buttons down here. One of them is to take a screenshot. The other is to go into your media gallery, and you can see all the different types of media that you have recorded, loop recordings, event recordings, snapshots, and you can look at all of those through the camera if you wanted to do a quick look at all of the different forms of media that your camera has captured. Back at the main menu, let's go ahead and get into the submenus themselves. We have general settings, advanced settings, and system settings. In the general settings, you're gonna have the option to set your resolution, your LCD display. You can choose if you wanna have the PIP on, which is the cabin facing camera. The rear lens, you can choose if you want that on or off. Loop recording, how long you want your loop recordings to be. I have mine at 3 minutes. Wi-Fi, so you can connect to your phone, so that way you can control some other parameters in the app. And then on the watermark for the recordings, you can choose no watermark, logo and time, and then logo, time, and speed. Let's move on to the advanced settings portion. You have a parking mode on or off. Parking mode allows you for the camera to record if it senses vibration using the 320 milliamp battery. So if there's no power being delivered to the camera, but it still senses vibration, it can take a 15-second recording and lock it, and you won't be able to loop record over it. G-sensor, how sensitive do you want the sensor in the camera to be? So that way, if you have like small taps, it'll record that, and then only if it's maybe like a major car crash or someone backs up into you and you have a big vibration, you can choose how sensitive you want the G-sensor to be. Driver fatigue, I have not tested. I assume that it will tell if you are too tired when driving. It'll look at your driving, or based on how jerky of the wheel you are, it will adjust that. I haven't tested it at all, unfortunately. LCD on or off, you can choose the sleep time for the LCD. Microphone, do you want to record audio or not? Key click, on or off, that's basically the sound of the clicks when you move through the menu. So now that I have it on, you can hear little key click. I don't like that sound effect at all, so I have it off. After key click, we have the IR LED auto. So basically, if the infrared LEDs on the cabin camera, you can have those auto on or off based on if there's not enough light, then the IR sensors will kick in. Frequency, what the frequency hertz is on your camera screen on your LCD. Finally, in the system settings, if we move over there, power off delay, how long do you want it to turn off after not being used? About information, language, adjust the time and the date, format the SD card, reset the camera to default, and that is it in there. Now that we have the camera recording, you can see that there's two options down at the bottom. There is a mute button, so you can turn the mute off. So say you take a phone call in your car through your Bluetooth speakers and you don't want it to be picked up by the camera, you can quickly just press the mute button and it'll turn the audio off, and then when you're done, you can turn it back on. Power soft button, if you press that, it turns the LCD off, doesn't power the camera off, and then press it again to bring it back on. And then of course the recording button, so you just press that to record. And then you press it again, the loop button on the soft key, press that, and there you go, it starts recording. All right, so we are currently in my car. I have the dash cam set up and it is powered on. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I set it up in my vehicle. So down here is my 12 volt socket. You can see it has the two USB chargers in it, and then also has a ring light for when you're driving at night, you can plug it in. So I currently have this very long cable currently tucked in underneath the passenger seat, and then that feeds all the way back down over here. And then you can see I have it tucked up in the rubber trim of my vehicle, so it's kind of nice and clean. It's a little dirty, I just need to clean my car, but you can see it feeds all the way up into here, and then I have it come back out through here up towards the front. These are the little cable ties or cable clips that they give you. They're just 3M stick to your vehicle, and then you can put it on your window, or your window, whatever you need to, on your dashboard, underneath, on top, wherever you need. And then it just continues to flow up in my trim up over here. This is the GPS sensor that also has adhesive on the back of it. Comes up over here through my trim. I have a cable tie or a cable clip here, but I decided to tuck it in underneath. It goes all the way up top. One more cable clip on the window, down over into the dash cam where there's the built-in cable clip, and then powering the camera itself. So whenever you get power to the vehicle, so right now my door is open, so that's giving power to the electronics. So the camera is currently recording, so if someone were to break into my car or open the door, if I left it unlocked, it would record all of that as well, which is pretty cool. One thing I want to note is that this is the little crowbar that they give you, so if you needed to pry bits of your trim in order to get the cable to feed underneath, that's what this is for. So let's go ahead and jump back to my final thoughts and the conclusion on this $200 VAVA 2K dual dash cam. Some time may have passed between my initial recording of the review and my final thoughts. Like I said before, I've been driving with a dash cam for quite a while now. Before I was using cheap dash cams, and recently I switched over to GoPro action cameras. I was using a GoPro Hero 5 Session for a while, and then I upgraded to a GoPro Hero 8 Black that has been my primary camera for quite a while. That is until VAVA reached out. GoPros or other action cameras might seem like a great idea to use for a dash cam, but unfortunately, they don't have built-in dash cam functions. You don't get any of the safety features. You constantly have to delete footage off of it because there is no loop recording on mine. And yes, the overall camera quality might be much better, but would you really want amazing quality over all the functionality? That's something that you personally have to decide on your own. For me personally, I would rather have all the functionality and not have to worry about constantly deleting footage off my camera and recharging my camera batteries over and over and over again. Seriously, the amount of times that I have to swap out batteries on the GoPro Hero 8 Black is kind of ridiculous. That's why I have 3 batteries and one of the chargers, so I can constantly keep charging the batteries. Every time I come home, I'd have to throw the batteries on the charger, and it's just not how you want to do it. You want to have the camera live in your car and you don't have to worry about it. It's kind of a set and forget sort of thing. And with the VAVA 2K dual dash cam, that actually is 100% what you're getting out of it. A set and forget setup. You set it up, run the cables, and then that's it. You don't have to worry about going into the camera to delete footage if you're using loop record, or if you have to go in there to delete anything, you're really just deleting the previously saved stuff that was locked that you can't record over. So any of the emergency recordings or any of the snapshot recordings or snapshot pictures that you take. But if you get a big enough memory card, like 128 gigabytes, you don't have to worry about doing that very often. Maybe once every couple weeks, if that at all. It's an amazing product, an amazing camera, and honestly, it makes me feel better driving with it in my car, knowing that I have that extra security. The 2K dash cam gets two big old thumbs up, and I highly recommend that you pick one up yourself if you're looking for that extra security. If that $200 price tag is too big for you, VAVA does make other dash cams that are a little bit cheaper, maybe about $150, $140 range. So if you're looking for anything like that, I'd still recommend checking out their products. Go on Amazon, check out their website. I'll leave everything down in the description below for you to check out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.